How was the real estate market in Berlin and Germany this year? And that's we have a little video series here for you guys, experts living in Berlin or in Germany, or people who are looking to relocate to Berlin, Germany. So we're going to look at the real estate market here, and we have 3 scenarios prepared. Today we're going to start with the worst case scenario. Then we're going to have the best case scenario, and then we are going to have the realistic scenario, right? So what's going to happen with the worst case scenario? Let's start with that first. So worst case scenario for us is that we're going to have more geopolitical problems, more people going to suffer because inflation is not going down, interest will go up again. We're having political problems. You know, the German government is not strong enough. They cannot make any innovation, any less bureaucratic stuff. Real estate industry is not developing enough apartments, etc. So this is a bit the worst scenario. And also what it means is that interest is not going down. Actually, it goes up. Just the opposite everyone is believing. So if you believe these things are going to happen, and we maybe get even more regulations on top of that, you know, what do you do? So let's look at the seller, right? So if you believe that's going to happen, so the market is not getting better, actually it's getting worse, then you should definitely consider to sell because less people are able to buy real estate. Even though that the market in Berlin it's very, very tight, right? If you go in the rental market, there's basically nothing to rent except the short-term apartments, furnished apartments, which are crazy expensive. If we call that a so-called gray area as well, which we don't know about. So people who are in Berlin, they need to buy, but they simply cannot afford because with high interest rate, they cannot afford real estate. And that means that you have to lower prices during the course of the year 2025. You will get less money. And it also means that if you don't sell now, you're going to lose money in the future. You're going to maybe have more problems, more regulations. So a lot of things are not great for you as a seller, right? So if you believe worst case is going to happen, you should consider selling now. If you believe worst case is going to happen and you are a potential buyer, you might consider, okay, Achim, I'm just watching this video. I think that's a realistic scenario. So I'm going to buy summer 25 or maybe end of 25 or maybe in 26. So if you think that's going to happen, you make a big mistake though, because you need to buy now. Even though now interest are up between 3 to 4%, if you buy now, and let's say worst case is going to happen, we're going to have, let's call it 4 to 5 or maybe 5 to 6% interest, then you should buy now because you simply cannot afford the apartment. The apartment might be cheaper down the way, but interest is higher. That means that your monthly expenses are much higher and you might going to fail the mortgage application. So that's a big one, right? So a lot of people, especially when they come to Germany, they only look on interest rates and on purchase prices. But you need to check on your monthly expenses, what you actually can afford, okay? So worst case scenario, I don't think it's going to happen like that, but I just want to warn you that's a potential risk. I give it around 20% likelihood, maybe even less than 20%, 10 to 20% chances that the worst case scenario is going to happen. Watch for more videos. I'm also going to talk about the best case scenario and the more realistic scenario, what's going to happen in the real estate market 2025.